stay awake for too long, don't go to bed. I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and going out of bed.
Yeah, I don't wanna fall asleep.
Hi folks, I'm your Desma21 drawing and color instructor Yuhao Jiang. In this video, we will go step by step through your Project 1A composition. Project 1A uses ideas of form from the Bauhaus to create an illustration of the contrasts present in a piece of instrumental music. Here, I'm going to break it down into 4 steps. Step 1, pick a piece of instrumental music. Step 2, write down 5 different contrasts you hear in the music. Step 3, create 10 analog sketches based on the contrast using only point, line, and plane. Step 4, in Adobe Illustrator, create 10 new black and white digital drawings based on your sketchbook compositions. First, some background. This project is inspired by the foundation course at the Bauhaus. The Bauhaus was a German art, architecture, and design school operational from 1919 to 1933. Its emphasis on dissolving the boundary between art and design education and its focus on industrial materials is the origin of much of what we generally think of as modernist design. Johannes Itten was a teacher who organized the famous basic course at the Bauhaus in Weimar, which emphasized experiential approaches to design and art. The basic of Itten's theory of composition was the general theory of contrast. In his book Design and Form, Itten writes, "As life and beauty unfold in the regions between the North Pole and the South Pole of our planet, so life and beauty of the world of contrast are to be found in the gradations between the poles of contrast." Here we can see some examples drawn from the basic course. Transparent, opaque. You can see the transparent rectangle over the opaque one. Much little, where many small points are contrasted with a single large point. Itten simplified the elements his students would use in a composition down to point, line, and plane. Point, as you can see here, is a circle of any size or quality. A line is what connects 2 points, a mark or gesture, and plane, a flat surface on which a straight line joining 2 points on it would lie. I like to think of a plan as having a rectangular or volumetric aspect. Step 1. Pick an instrumental song you would like to work with. And step 2, carefully listen to the song and write down at least 5 opposite relationships the song reminds you of. Here, I'm using Midori Takada's soundtrack, Mr. Henry Russo's Dream, as an example. And the few words I wrote down are fast, slow, deep, shallow, still motion, calm, anxious, and bright, dark. Each composition should be 1 full page size and focus on 1 opposite relationship you wrote down. You can use any dry or wet drawing materials, but only black and white. This is the composition I quickly created based on the opposition calm, anxious. Just to give you a few more examples on some visual elements you can play with. Here you can see as the small dots are repeated many times, they form a visual plan. When the line gets thicker, it also becomes a plan. Additionally, by scaling up the size of the same shape, we can create a sense of depth and perspective. In these 2 images, you can tell the sense of foreground, background, positive, negative space are reversed by switching the black and white color fields. In this example, playing with repetition and variation can create a sense of order and chaos at the same time. The next step is to digitize your sketches to digital drawings in Illustrator. This is a great chance to get familiar with some basic Illustrator functions. There are a series of Illustrator tutorials to help you get started. For those of you who are confident in your Illustrator basic skills, I would encourage you to push your formal explorations further. One method that might help is to study what artists and designers have created already. In this example, I extracted this abstract composition out of this Bauhaus poster in Illustrator as a formal analysis. To conclude our video, here are some past students' work, just to give you an idea of what your project might look like. At this stage, you may feel like you're limited to basic shapes and black and white. But remember, there are unlimited interesting visual elements you can explore using these basic shapes. And the notion of creating a strong formal composition is something you should always keep in mind.